Hey, what's up guys? It's Tarkan back with yet another video. I want to talk about a subject today that's, kind of an important thing to talk about, an important thing to understand. Let's say we're talking about a concept here, all right? And as you can already tell from the title of this video, the idea is that the universe will always look for the path of least resistance, okay? So think of it, think of energy and the way energy flows as being like water, okay? Water behaves in much the same way. Water is rolling down the hill. It doesn't stop necessarily at every rock and pebble and little twig and whatever it is. It'll go around those things, all right? Water will find its way through little cracks and the tiniest little openings. It may split itself up and then kind of come back together, right? So, if you think about energy flowing in a similar way, energy will always go around these obstacles, go around things, all right, that seem to be obstacles in our minds, all right? This is why, I want to stress to people, I always try to stress to people that the things that you see as obstacles in the path towards the thing that you desire the most, and let's say it's that relationship with that specific person, let's say it's that pile of money or that great job or that steady income or that great car or that good health or whatever it is that you desire, you immediately it's like your monkey mind immediately goes to the problems, the obstacles, the potential obstacles, okay? It's not even that most of these obstacles are just conjured up by our mind. They're not even obstacles at all. And absolutely, to universal mind, to the universe, these obstacles don't exist. There are no real obstacles to get you to where you want to be or to manifest the thing that you want to manifest or to flow that energy and that focus in the direction of what you want, right? Except for when you put up the obstacles in your own mind, okay? So in other words, it's almost like the more resistance you offer, the more tedious the process becomes, the slower it becomes, the more inefficient it becomes, okay? Because the universe is looking to flow that energy through you, looking for you to be a conduit for it, a receptor for it, a receiver for it, a tuner for it, okay? So if you're putting up, it's like, I want this thing that I desire, but I'm imagining all these potential obstacles and problems on the road there, okay? I want a girlfriend, but I don't have enough money. So first I got to make money. But in order to make money, then I got to find a better job. So now I got to go look for a better job so I can make more money so I can date and have the girlfriend that I want. Do you see how you've just put up like 3-4 different obstacles in your path that aren't even necessary, all right? I want to go on a trip to Thailand. I don't have the money, I don't have the time, so first I got to do that. Then I can save up, then I got to do this, then I can go there, then I find the best deal. And you're trying to do everything yourself because you're anticipating all these sort of obstacles. And to universal mind, it can see infinite paths to get you to where you want to be and to manifest for you what it is that you most desire. And when I say infinite, I mean unending. I mean, like so many different paths to it that our minds couldn't even possibly begin to ponder how many, okay? But to universal mind, which has a much broader perspective than your monkey mind does, okay? Than our monkey minds do, all right? None of these are obstacles. It's like what Abraham Hicks always says. A button and a castle to the universe is the same thing. $1 and $1 million is the same thing. It's just energy. And all these objects and things and thoughts and circumstances are just comprised of energy. And it's all about flowing your focus, your attention, and your energy towards what it is you want and not putting up those kind of blocks, okay? So, I had a friend years ago who actually would travel the world and barely had any money, like 2 cents to rub together. But he would, what he would do is he would just kind of pay a little bit of money in these freighter ships or something like that, right? So these like freighter ships that go around the world bringing goods back and forth, right? He would just kind of, book like pay like a very little amount of money or do some work on those ships or something like that. And then he could travel on the ship with the crew there, whatever the freight crew was, and he would go to Thailand and Vietnam. And, he even like met his current wife in Vietnam, I think, or in Thailand. They've been married for a number of years now, They have a child or a couple of children. They're very happy. But, this is how he used to travel the world. And people were like, how do you get to go to all these places? You don't have a lot of money. you don't have like a steady job right now. You know, he was a photographer, I think. And, you know, he was doing work here and there. He was making some money, but not the kind of money that you might imagine you would need in order to go traveling to all these exotic places and these distant, far off places in the world. But he just didn't see any of that as being an object. All right. So, you know, when you just focus on the end result, without trying to, like, you know, manifest every step of the path and every step of the way, then you allow the universe to just conjure up the means and the path of least resistance to get you there, okay? Because when you start interfering with that, that's when things slow down. That's when things become tedious and messy and inefficient, okay? And you go, you know, what happened? I thought this was supposed to be easy. Well, you didn't focus on it being easy, okay? So the thing is about making yourself not an obstacle to the things that you want, but making yourself that conduit, right? Making yourself that perfect receiver for that universal energy to flow through you to get you to where you want to be, all right? So, you know, this is another great example Abraham Hicks did some years ago in one of their seminars. Somebody asked about the path of least resistance, and they explained it in a beautiful way. They said, you know, so many of us out here trying to manifest, you know, we make the process so much more complicated than it needs to be. You know, what if it's 16 below outside? You know, it's freezing, and you're out there, you leave your house, and you're out there in front of your house in a t-shirt or maybe just a light jacket or sweater, and you're freezing your butt off. Okay, you know, most of us, it's like especially when we start learning about this manifesting stuff, you know, we go, okay, I'll meditate, I'll close my eyes, I'll imagine being warm, you know, I'll imagine being warm, and then I'll manifest the weather getting better, you know. And so Abraham kind of goes, well, is that really the path of least resistance? What's the path of least resistance in that situation? Think about it. It's so simple, and most of us don't think of the most simple solution, right? The path of least resistance is to just go inside and get a damn coat, all right, and put it on and then be warm, okay? So, you know, this is like a perfect example of how most of us, especially in the beginning when we're learning this law of attraction stuff, is we think it has to be this complicated thing, and I'm gonna manifest it in this way. It has to be in this way, all right? And so many, I get this so often, like, no, I want them to contact me. I want that text message from them. I want it to be this way. I want it to be by next Thursday, all right? I want it, you know, by April, I want to be married with 3 children, you know? And it's like, listen, just let the universe find the path of least resistance, okay? And that's another thing. To your mind, also, what may seem like is not the path of least resistance could very well be the actual path of least resistance, okay? And I want you to bear with me for a minute here, because this is going to be like, you know, a lot of you might be putting up some walls to this as well, but let me try to explain it to you in this way. Even when you have, say, a third party coming along, right, with your specific person, let's say, that may actually be the path of least resistance to getting the two of you back together. And I may have mentioned this before in another video, but you just don't know. It could happen this way. It could happen that maybe for a year or two, or for a couple of months, they date somebody else. And in your mind, you're thinking they're happy without you. You're thinking they're happy with this other person. But it could just be that being with that other person is exactly what they needed in order to realize that you're the one they were actually happy with. You see what I mean? Sometimes separation is the perfect cure for, you know, for separation. Does that make sense? Okay. Is the perfect way to get you guys back together. You know, when you're kind of, what do they say? Is it distance makes the heart grow fonder, or something like that? You know, you think about somebody more often when they're not around, okay? You think about how you miss them. You think about the great times you had. So, you know, if you apply what I've been saying to that idea, to say a scenario where you're dealing with you want your specific person, you want your ex back, you know, and there was somebody else, that might be exactly what was necessary for them to go have another relationship for a little while, or date somebody else for a little while, in order to find their way back to you, you see. But the universe might know that, but you might not know that. With your ego mind, you're going, oh, this is awful, it's over, it's the end, they love somebody else, but you just don't know. And this is why you got to get out of the way of it, okay? This is why you focus on the end result, and you try not to focus so much on the process, all the steps you need to get there, what you need to be doing and don't need to be doing. When you just focus on the end result, and then you focus on calming yourself down, involving yourself in your life, loving and respecting yourself, doing the things that you love, that you're passionate about, feeling more joy every day. So you look forward to getting up in the morning, having fun with it, being playful, being frisky, being easy, being relaxed. You see, then ideas will occur to you, opportunities will find you, people will be put in your path that will help you to the next step along the path to where you want to be, okay? But you can't see any of that stuff if you're putting up all these walls and all this resistance and all these conjuring all these obstacles in your mind, okay? So try to understand, try to look at things in those terms, you know? The universe will always find the path of least resistance. So you can begin to think the way that the universe thinks about things. If you begin to think and look at things the way that God thinks and looks at things, then you're becoming a match to that. You see what I'm saying? Then you're aligning yourself with that. So then you start thinking and feeling and acting and being the way that God would. You start looking at the situation and thinking about it the way that God would, the way that the universe would. And then you're on the path to where you are also going through your day looking for the path of least resistance to things, instead of thinking of conjuring up obstacles and things to put in your own way, okay? So you want to be that receptor. Let that energy flow through you and learn to, you know, put your focus on the end result, on where you want things to be, how you want things to be. And that so often involves, of course, as I always say, feeling the way that you anticipate you're going to feel when you have that thing. You got to feel that way. That's the thing you got to practice, okay? So think about that concept. Meditate on that idea for a while. Meditate on what I said for a while. Think about this idea of the path of least resistance, and how can you also in your life use the path of least resistance more often in more situations, and especially in the situation where you want to be with the person you want to be with, all right? In this case, your specific person, your ex, whether it's money, whatever your biggest sort of manifesting dream is right now, okay? Think about it. What's the path of least resistance here? All right. So thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm 𝗙Con. If you like this video, you like the cut of my jib, please hit subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Please consider leaving me a tip if you want. You find this content valuable. You know, you can throw $1 my way. You can find the links for that down below. If you want to join the Facebook group, you can find the link for that down below as well. Of course, if you want coaching with me, you can also find the link to my website page where that explains all that to you, okay? So all that is in the description box. So thanks for watching, guys, as always. Until next time, I'm 𝗙Con. Take care. Happy manifesting. And bye-bye.